the team that's on it.
It's surprising.
The colors for our logo matches the team that's on it. Who is
It's surprising. It's Seattle Surge, man. I mean, Seattle Surge is the team that we expect to be placing top 4, top 5, a team that extends series. I mean, you have a player like Pred who a lot of people consider him the best player in the world, if not top 2, top 3 SMG. You have an incredible Slayer and Sib, but
Seattle also looked like they were turning it around a little bit.
Yep.
Heading into Major 4, we had Seattle in our top 3 as in contenders for the event.
I do want to add something because me and Lamar are very close friends. He's actually my workout partner.
Okay. You don't want to get your ass beat now.
No. I'll slap.
You'll slap him?
Yeah. We spoke about it, and to be fair, Pred went to Australia after the major.
That's
fair.
fair.
They only had 2 days of practice. He had to go home and do some stuff. So
Yeah.
to be fair, lack of practice. But my biggest worry now is if they're mental boomed. I mean, you have that play with Mac at the major where they get knocked out when a lot can argue that they probably should have won that series and extended their tournament run.
I think they should have. I think they should have won that series.
They should have at least extended that tournament run.
If that clutch goes differently, I think they win that.
And then fast forward to just losing like the way they're losing now. I think there was a 3-0 dominant victory from Ultra. It's like, does Seattle start checking themselves out mentally? Are they still bringing that same confidence and momentum and that slaying ability that we know that they have, or are they going to fall off the horse? And so far, they're looking a little underwhelming.
So I have a couple stats. So since beating FaZe 3-0 on 4/15, their control is 2-2 or 2-3 actually versus 18-11 before. So their control's starting to slip. And honestly, really all their game modes are besides Search and Destroy. 3 and 4 in Search at 42% versus 12 and 25 before. So we've been talking about Seattle, how their Search and Destroy has been improving, and they've finally been getting some wins under their belt. And honestly, that was their only really flaw before that, was their Search and Destroy, because it was so bad.
Really bad.
They were on like an 11-12 game Search and Destroy losing streak, which I think they tied the record. But they started to fix their Search and Destroy up. But now they're starting to struggle in other modes, and that's how it can sometimes be in Call of Duty. You rise in one thing, and it's going to affect something else because you're focusing on it more in practice. But Hardpoint, they're 4-4 versus 31 and 20 before. So even their Hardpoint, they're going 50% in it.
And let me just say, I'm not sure what's going on recently with them, but they need to return to like their bread and butter, and that is Lamar's in the hill and Pred is roaming. I've seen Pred get
a minute in hill.
I'm seeing Pred with a minute in the hill, and I'm like, he's a team player. No.
Get him out of that fucking
Lamar
hill.
needs to be in the hill because that's the way this team thrives. Pred's going to go run and gun and slay. Sib is one of the most talented flexes in the league. He can drop 40 at any given moment. And I do think Mac is their X factor. I do hold Mac to a high standard. I think he's getting a lot of flack recently, and I can't lie, it's kind of deserved. I mean, he's been underperforming recently, but he plays the game fundamentally correct. He helps his teammates on the map. He sets them up correctly, and he does have a lot of talent that we've seen before. My only worry with Mac is if his confidence is starting to slip.
Yeah, I don't think his confidence is slipping at all in Respawn. Maybe a little bit. I think it's just in the 1v1s. Obviously, we see a 1v1 him versus Insight when they played Toronto, and Insight just jumps off the top rope and just chows. Mac's getting put in these 1v1 scenarios where it looks like he should win and he doesn't, and slowly but surely that can kind of affect your mental and get into your head a little bit. In Hardpoint, he's only been down by 0.15, which is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe it is affecting him a little bit, and I hope he pulls out of it because Mac's the X factor for that team, and when he's not playing so hot,
they're in a scary spot.
Yeah, they're in a scary spot.
Seattle
can turn it around. Like, it's one of those teams, though, that can just flip the switch and come right back.
There is not a single team. This team can go 0-5, and if you're playing Seattle round 1 in that event, you're like, we got to fucking bring it.
You got to turn up.
Seattle, just based on their roster and their sheer talent and their pop-off ability with players like Pred and Sib, they're always a threat.
And Seattle's only played one match this major, but
it's kind of going like...
They play Texas next. They play... Who do they play after that? They play Breach after that. They play New York after that. So they have a hard-ass schedule.
It's a mix of like the Major 4 bow out as well as just the tough start. I mean, they got 3-0 slammed.
Yeah, it was a tough start. But that's thin ice with Seattle. Hopefully they turn it around. I think they have so much talent in the world on that team. They have 2 incredible new players in the league.
Up for this one.
And, Mac, the X Factor, needs to turn up a little bit. And Lamar needs to get in that fucking hill. But who are we to fucking judge?
It's time for my favorite segment.